You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Hello and welcome to the Racers Elite Truck Series Season 5 opener from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Here tonight to kick off this season to see if our man Blair Holloman can go back to back. And I'm certain that he is surely riled up and ready to go at it. As, he had a dominant season last year. 6 wins out of 15. I mean, that's like batting over 400, 500 for the season. And, that's just absolutely insane to see. I mean, if he was a baseball player, he'd be all over the world right now as a phenom. But certainly going to see if he can start it off with another win. Maybe even see if Andrew Teft can kind of get a little bit of revenge and start his trek to maybe claiming the championship this season that he just barely missed out on. But tonight here on Sim Racing Media, it's me, Jordan Brockell, here with Colin McDonough in the booth. This is his first official race as a member of Sim Racing Media, and I'm looking forward to having him. And Colin, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling pretty excited for this one. I'm stoked to be here for an entire season, and get to know these drivers a little bit better from a viewer's perspective rather than on track.
Yeah, and I can tell you now that you're going to be in for a treat here, as this is one of my favorite ones to call. The trucks are different now with all the updates, and they run a little bit more on the edge than they used to. They're not as stable. I mean, they're still more stable than that next-gen car. that I feel like we shouldn't be calling it next gen anymore. It should just be called the Cup car at this point. It's just like the car of tomorrow. Like, it shouldn't have been called the car of tomorrow anymore because it was the car of today. But that aside,
the car of yesterday.
yeah, the car of yesterday, the car of today, the car of the past, ghost of Christmas past. But certainly looking forward to watching these guys in these trucks again. And we're going to take a peek at a little bit of a special runner today. Here is our boss man, Jonathan Leach, out there running laps in that ghost car. And you know, he better not disappoint me. And just as I say that,
Oh dear.
hang on to it, John. But yeah, our main man here, he's going to drift it into the corner. He's having a little bit of a struggle. I bet you he's probably messing with one of the kids. They popped in on him or something. Or, I mean, he looks like me out there last night when I was racing at IRP in the trucks. And let me tell you, it was not pretty in any way, shape, or form. But
Well,
certainly,
I do know this much: Jonathan Leach did not make it in for practice.
that's
So
always
these
the
are
worst,
these
too.
may be his first laps out on track.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a peek here. It's Kirby Wainscott's going to go down the backstretch. We'll see what kind of time he can lay down here. Is the KFC man, finger-licking good racer of Kirby Wainscott. And, you know, I got to say, that's got to be an awesome name as Kirby. Because, I mean, you're set up. You already have your own logos and everything for it. Because you could just literally use Kirby as your logo.
This isn't the first time that I've had someone with first or last name Kirby to race with, and without fail, there's always a Kirby logo, either on their vehicle or for their profile, whatever it may be. It's a go-to.
Yeah, and we're riding on with Lee Campbell now, as Lee Campbell makes a number change to the number 60 this season, as he's in that number 60 Smuckers. I always say Schmuckers, but it's not Schmuckers. They're not Schmucks. The Smuckers number 60 machine there. One of the many driver number changes, as we'll see, Trevor Woodward will be the one to take over that number 14 for us this year. As far as that, I haven't seen any of the numbers that are sticking out right now that we've seen change, but there's been a couple. Lee Campbell goes 31.87 on his first lap. Sean Dunaway just finished his first lap at 31.71 to put him tied in the second place. He's going to be third as he sits right now. We're going to see what Lee Campbell can do as he comes off turn 4. Going to come across, grab that time, see where he goes. And improves to a 31.72, puts him in fourth right now.
Nicely done. I've heard a rumor that this paint scheme for Lee Campbell is a winner.
I mean, it certainly could be. And, Sean Dunaway just missed his second lap, but he bumps up to the number 1 spot. The 01 in position number 1 with a 31.68. Hugh Escobar comes off of turn 4. He's going to get his final time here at a 32.82. Does not improve from that 13th position. But we're going to go ahead and take a peek here at the man, the myth, the legend, Andrew Teft, the league owner here for Racers Elite. And I got to say that Andrew Teft puts on a phenomenal group of leagues and special event races. And I mean, they're just like single event, one-off races that he throws together. And I mean, this company in general has it all together. And I love working with them and love watching it each and every week. He's going to set a 31.
Well organized.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to set a 31.95 for his first lap. See what he can do. As Blair Holloman's going to be going on the track now. He's not quite done his warm-up lap, but he is certainly on his way out there. We'll see if he can put it on the pole here tonight. Andrew Teft going to come off of turn 4. He's going to grab his time, see what he puts up. He's going to go right to number 1, 31.66. We're going to hop on with Blair Holloman. And, you know, that's got to be a great feeling for Andrew Teft to come out just short of the championship and then go put it on pole position. But now the man that he's got to worry about is out there right now running his first hot lap in the 32 of Blair Holloman.
Competition is pretty fierce. All the top 10 are within a second of each other, and we've still got a number of drivers left to put down some laps.
Yeah, and that's what I love about this league is just the amount of talent that is here. Holloman going to come across the line here now, grab his time. He's going to go 31.70. See if he can maybe even improve that. Doesn't have a ton to make up to go to that number 1 spot. And like you said, everyone's within about a tenth of a second from 7th on up. He's going to come across the line, grab that final time, see where it goes. 31.61, right to the top, you indeed. And, you know, Andrew and him, it's been seen, it's been done. 1-2 start here. Alex Teft also just finished up his time in 8th place. Truth Hoax out now running his lap in that Wrangler 55 machine. We've seen quite a bit from these guys. And it seems like, you know, that race from last week, you know, that championship race, feels like months ago with how insane these guys run and, like, how much they leave you wanting more.
It is kind of strange that this is a brand new season, starting fresh.
And see, I like leagues like that. Short leagues, you know, I think it was 15 races for the entirety of last season. Truth Hope going to come across the line, grab his final time. He's going to go to the top. 31.57, scorching fast compared to the others here. So Truth Hope said, you guys already set the front row before I even got a chance to run. So let me just throw that at your forehead and make you.
That was with 3 seconds remaining in qualifying.
Yeah, and I mean that was absolutely insane. I mean that was a run.
That was a scorcher.
I mean, it threw me off of what even was going on. Yeah, I'm stunned because I mean that was out of nowhere, and like you said, very end of that run there, and just threw it right there at the top. We're gonna go see if we can get a chat with our old friend Kirby. Just a second here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull him up.
How many laps do we need to...
Kirby Wainscott, it's Jordan Collin in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. What's up?
Hey, man. We were already set. We thought Blair and Andrew were going to start 1-2 once again, and then you come out of nowhere, lay down a blazing fast time, and you steal the pole in the last couple of seconds there.
That wasn't me. That would be Truth.
Oh, Truth. Oh, shit. Or crap. My bad. I'm sitting here looking at Kirby, and I'm like, oh, no, that's who did it.
I mean, I wish I could take credit for that.
I was so stuck on your name from earlier that I just looked right at Kirby and was like, yeah, that's it.
So Kirby, how do you feel starting 12th?
Well, not as good as starting first, but no. But I had the same reaction that you did. As soon as I saw Truth get up there, I'm like, wow, that's a heck of a lap right there. But I mean, I was just talking to my team as we get rolling here. I was just talking to my team. I mean, I'm kind of right here in this situation where I don't know if I want to be aggressive, if I want to save my stuff and see what happens or what. So I guess I'm just gonna kind of play it by sight, see what everybody else does.
Yeah, well, we want to wish you luck. We'll get you back down to Chicken Coop, but sorry about that, boss man. We were so hung up on everything that we went a little crazy up here and scrambled. So we'll get you back down there, and good luck, brother.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.
You too. Well, now we'll see if we can get Truth, and we'll give Truth a little bit here. try to catch him. Hopefully, maybe if we get a caution early enough, we'll grab him then.
I was gonna say, probably not best to get him right before green
No,
flag
not at
flies.
all. Not whatsoever. And yeah, sorry about that, guys. That we were so frazzled up here with how fast that time was. It just completely went over our heads at who we were talking to. But certainly, they're going to roll out through turn 4, and they're getting ready to rev these things up and get going on season number 5. Green flags in the air. Season 5 has started with number 55 leading the way. Blair Holloman to his outside. Holloman's going to make it tough for Hope to keep that lead as he's going to have that momentum off the top side. Andrew Teff sees it, going to jump up to the high line there, but Truth Hope going to fight forward.
There's still a lot of laps. It's not the best idea to start picking fights just yet, but
Certainly not.
so
I mean,
try to find your rhythm at this point.
yeah, exactly. You want to find that rhythm. You want to get into that comfortable spot and just work your way into, plus territory as you can. As you see that Hornet's nest back there. Oh, it looks like the 72 machine of Hugh Escobar off track. A little bit of a slide, I think, off of the turn 2. And that's what's different about this 2008 Atlanta. You know, it's not that, what I like to call Atlanta Dega that we see now. It's a lot different of a track. And it's an old surface, and, it's easy to tear up tires and lose traction rather easily than it is on that newer style configuration.
Man, Blair Holloman is just checking out.
Yeah, and certainly showing why he was the champion of season number 4 and picking up right where he left off. Pop back
Jonathan
here.
Leach making a move on the inside of Paul Shaw to turn 1.
Yeah, our main man over here at SRM, Jonathan Leach. I gotta say something nice because, the man signs my paycheck, so. But certainly glad to see him in a truck. I don't think I've ever gotten to watch him race before. Back up front, Truth Hope fighting to stay ahead of Andrew Teft as Andrew Teft goes to the outside. Going to be able to just stay a touch in front of Hoke. If he can get a good run, he's going to clear him.
Andrew Teft, well known for saving fuel and saving tires. Oh my!
Ooh, big slide there by Teft. Riding on board here with Truth Hoke. Let's see, you can watch. If Teft goes to the line he has been, you'll see Teft stay way up high and then Kirby way down low. And it shows you the different grooves that these guys can run here to have speed. And it's all in the ability of the driver. It's a fixed league. There is no setup changes. There is nothing of that nature. It's all in what makes you the most comfortable and what you can run the fastest. So Rob Yost looks to capitalize on Truth Hoke here as well.
Yeah, Truth might just be, saving fuel, saving tires, and just letting the leaders get out there and use their stuff up.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where you've just got to basically figure out where, to fight and where to lay off. As you see Sean Dunaway making the bottom work on Truth Hope now. Got that 01 Gatorade machine revved up. Gonna look to the inside of Rob Yost, but Yost gonna shut it down. John Taffer style, shut it down. I want a shut it down button. Yeah, shut it down. Back up
One of
front.
these days we'll get a soundboard in here.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I have the capability with the Elgato Stream Deck that I have here. I have 1,000 million buttons on here. I just got to figure out how to program that stuff. But Blair Holloman already out to almost a 2-second lead here. You look out the back, and I mean, it's just, he's just gone.
What
I
you
mean,
love to see in your mirror.
Exactly, and you know, my famed saying, it's music to his eyes, because apparently I don't know how to say it's music to his ears. You know, it doesn't make sense to say that when he's racing. Is Holloman's right up against that wall. I was a little scary there for a second.
Holloman and Teft are making that high line work really well for them.
Yeah, Wesley Herndon finding his way through Rowan Lloyd and looking to capitalize here on Troy Thomas. It looks like Troy Thomas is supposed to be the number 6, but is showing as the number 3. Wesley Herndon is registered as the number 3. So not sure if there's just a little mix up there or what.
That's fun.
It's one of those things that happens. You have a paint set up to run during you know, the week or a different league, and
Yep.
you forget to switch it. I'm notorious for doing that. I always seem to screw it up somehow. And actually,
we all make mistakes.
oh, absolutely. I mean, look, I spoke to Kirby Wainscott as if he was the pole sitter, so we all make mistakes. But I mean, looking at it now, Teft has drawn in just a touch, and I mean, it doesn't look like it, but he's cut it down by 0.3 here to a 1.6 second lead. It was almost 2 full seconds, so I wonder if Andrew Teft has kind of decided to turn it up a little bit here. Maybe Blair used up his stuff just a touch too early. I mean, you know, he raced last week, obviously, you know, won the championship, but there's always that new season first race jitters that just kind of get to you. It's just like what I like to call is the first tee box of when you go golfing. Even if you're a terrible golfer, you get to that first tee box and you have that, oh, Sean Dunaway grabs the wall.
Oh no!
Grabs a little bit of Truth Hope there too, but
facing the right direction.
yeah, I don't know how they kept that going. Dennis Kane's going to take advantage of it, as well as Rob Yost looking to take advantage of that as well. But, you know, what I was saying is, you know, that first tee box jitters, I don't know if you're a golfer at all there, Colin, but, you know, even if you're a terrible golfer, you get on that first tee box and you're just like, oh, God, you got everybody watching you that's in your group, and then you got the starter, he's standing there watching you, and you're just, the clubhouse can see you, and you're just like, please hit this ball straight as possible. And that's certainly where Blair is, where he's just like, please let this race go as smooth as possible.
Yeah, I can't speak for golf, but I know that I've done some bicycle races with standing starts, and you're just waiting and waiting.
You don't want to,
like forever. Once you get going, the nerves tend to,
yeah, you don't want to be that guy to try to go too early and almost flip yourself out of your off your bike, or
I've watched it happen.
or you don't want to be that guy that gets caught snoozing and, you know, everybody's way ahead of you and you're now playing catch up,
or somebody runs into the back of you because you're not getting off the line quick enough.
It's not one of those number of things that you're just like, I feel like it's that way with everything, you know. Oh, big slide by Truth Hope. Dennis Kane almost grabbing a bit of him there, but you know, I'm a big bowler. You know, it sounds weird to say that, you know, I'm a young guy, but I'm absolutely obsessed with bowling. It's that first ball of the first game that you're just like, please just don't throw it in the gutter. Even, you know, I'm not great, but, you know, I do carry between that 175, 180 average. So, like,
nice.
It's been in my family for years. So, a gutter is not usually something that I do. So, you're just like, please don't put it in the gutter, because as soon as you do, you don't want to turn around.
Right. You don't want to find out who saw you do it.
Exactly. Andrew Teft has brought it down to a 0.7 of a second lead or gap there to Blair Holloman, and you can see just ahead of Holloman, he's going to have that 72 machine of Hugh Escobar right there up ahead. And looks like something happened possibly to Rob Yost, as he and Hugh are now a lap down.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, it looks like
I'm
he actually
trying to
came
keep
down.
my eye in the sky.
Looks like he came down pit road. And he's not currently running on the track. Looks like he just parked it for the night. I don't see any time going up. He's not in the stall.
Wonder what happened.
Yeah, no, he is not in the session right now. So we'll go back up to Andrew Teft, who's down to about a half-second lead to Blair Holloman. And you know, that could be one of the things. Blair could have just easily burnt up his stuff really quickly.
It's one thing that I like about, you know, NASCAR versus the sprint race layout on road courses. You know, you really have to be mindful of tire wear and, you know, fuel saving, because there'll be a couple of pit stops, and you want to make sure that you time them just right.
Yeah, and it's
like Alex Teft had a moment in turn 3.
It looks like my scoring threw me off. It threw Troy Thomas up into the front here. And, oh, Sean Merriman's going to split it 3 wide here almost. Dunaway going to be able to keep it from going fully 3 wide. It's not one of those things you want to see here. Jesse Fox looks like he had a little bit of a slide. Almost grabbed the back of Tef there. Calm down, guys. You're scaring me.
I wonder if this is just a matter of tire wear and starting to lose the back end.
Yeah, but I mean, Blair, as we started saying, he was getting tracked down. He is now moved it back up a 10th, and Rob Yost came across, said had to pull in, not completely over the flu, and you never want to race sick. It's not fun at all. Sorry to hear that, Rob. Hope you feel better, brother, and come back out and kick some A next week.
Oh, and Sean Merriman.
Yeah, it looked like...
did not have a clean entry on there.
Now, see if we can go back real quick and see what happened. I don't know if he meant to do that. Might have gotten loose and then... no, it looked like it was a scheduled stop by chance, but just didn't get on cleanly.
I'll admit to having done that.
Oh,
I feel like everyone has.
yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I feel like I'm notorious for putting one tire or like half a tire over the line on exit and just like staring at that left corner of my screen where I have my flag, and I'm just like, please don't give me a black flag. Please just don't. But certainly that's going to be a killer for Merriman too, because he's going to have a penalty on top of his pit stop too. So it's going to be one of those. He's going to
that cone on entry. I believe that's a 70-second hold.
Yeah, it's something like that. You know, it's a one of those unsafe entries. He is currently leaving the pits now, though. So roughly about 70 seconds or so. No, I think it was about a 40-second, because he was in the box for 55 seconds. So I think it was a 40-second hold. But
yeah, not quite so bad.
But still, it's not fun by any means here. Dennis Kane coming from nowhere and finding his way to that top 3 position there, trying to run down now Andrew Teft.
That top 3 really is in a tight battle now.
Oh, Andrew Teft, big moment, trying to catch it, gonna get, oh no. Ooh, evasive maneuvers there, and I mean, lucky for him, those guys there towards the end were able to avoid that.
Did a great job getting around him.
Absolutely, and I mean that's not a fun one by any means there.
Now we're gonna see, I suspect, everybody come down pit road.
Yeah, and you could just see he was trying to hang on to it there, and I mean this happens way back when. We'll back it up here. If I can hit the right buttons. We'll back it up here. And you can see he gets off this corner just a little squirrely. And then he turns back, tries to save it, and then it just, once it hit that apron and him trying to pull it back up, it just like became weightless.
It's a terrible feeling holding the brakes, sitting on the racing line, and hoping everyone gets around you safely. You don't want to ruin somebody else's race.
You can see here, watch. He's going to get light, save it, save it, save it, hold it, and then try to gas it up, and then that's when it tries to spin back around to the right on him. And that's just unfortunate there, but, I mean, he avoids further damage with everyone, you know, kind of being pretty good at avoiding him. But he's going to pull into pit road, and he's going to have a little bit of a lengthy stay, though, that's for sure. And, you know, while they go ahead and do their pit stops and get set to go, we're going to go ahead and step aside for a moment, pay some bills, show you some ads, and we'll be right back here for the next segment of the Racers Elite Truck Series from Atlanta. Back here at the racetrack, Blair Holloman's going to cycle back to the lead still after that caution. Andrew Teff's going to find himself in 16th. Take a peek at that thing. See, it doesn't look too bad. May have used a fast repair. Not entirely sure, but certainly got a little bit of work to do here from now. And you know, while we're waiting,
definitely shake things up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. While we're doing this, we're gonna go ahead and bring up our man from the pole originally of Truth Hoke. And we'll just get him in here in just a moment. Truth Hoke, it's the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
Hey man, we meant to talk to you at the start, but we were so baffled at the time you put down that I ended up pulling in Kirby Wainscott instead, because I was just trying to find it, and you had me all flabbergasted there for a second. I was all out of sorts. Yeah, I mean, you absolutely just put a blazing time down. I mean, we were sitting here, we were just like, oh, you know, leaving off like we did, you know, Teft and Holloman on the pole, never mind.
Thank you. Yeah, I surprised myself on that and my teammate.
But
I wasn't going to qualify, but I went ahead and did it.
Hey, good thing you did, but, you know, you find yourself back here a little further back in 13th. You know, what's it like out there right now?
Slick. It's slick. Bad slick.
I hear you. You know, I think you're about to go to 1 to green.
No, we're green now.
Oh, just went green. Yep.
Yeah, it's all right.
Well, we'll go
I
ahead
had
and
to
get you
fix some
back.
damage I got, so that's the reason I'm back here.
I got you, brother. Well, we'll go ahead and get you back.
All right, thank you very much.
Good luck.
So certainly, he's in the hornet's nest too, right there. It's just absolutely in no man's land. And you know, we at least got to talk to the man that actually started on the pole now, and not some guy that didn't start on the pole, started in 12th. But you know, Kirby's found his way up to 10th now, so maybe we gave him a little bit of help by giving him a little bit of that boast, you know, talking to him. Blair Holloman already out to a 2.25 lead on these guys, and I mean, we just went green. We just went green.
It is remarkable just how far ahead he gets.
I mean,
in such a
he's
short
an
amount of
absolute
time.
menace with how fast he is. I don't know anyone as fast as him. You know, during race pace, you know, several people can put down fast times, you know, for qualifying or practice. But to carry that much race pace is insane. But now we've got to watch and see, does he keep a larger gap than he did last time?
Already going out to 2 seconds. It's tremendous.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those things where it's you're gonna have to find a way to get off of his sequence if you want to have a regular a good chance at beating him. Because if you stay on the same big slide, sorry, like Dennis Kane and Teft looking to capitalize, but you know, these guys are gonna have to find a strategy if we can stay green to get off a sequence with Holloman that works out better. And that's the thing, is you don't know the winning strategy until you cross it for the checkered flag in first place.
Right. You can never predict when or if you'll end up with some caution and wholesale pit stops, as they like to say.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where you could see 1-2 guys come off at one time, but next thing you know, the following lap you got 10-12, and then you have just a cluster of trucks on pit road, and you've got to avoid. And you know, I know that I've had the problem where somebody gets to that line and they slow down to, you know, if it's a 45 mile an hour speed, they're down to 35, and then they go up to 45, and you get stuck and you lose time there.
Truth Oak is making moves.
Yeah, already back up to 9th with a handful of guys here that he could capitalize on. Jesse Fox and Kyle Hess just in front of him, but not really looking to take it 3 wide, you know, this early in the run.
Even 2 wide is dicey with how slick, how much people are sliding. It looks like Jesse Fox just fell back there.
Yeah, and you see, like, some of these guys coming out of this corner, or out of these corners, you can see the rear end way off skew of that front nose, and it's like it's on that final little bit of stability, that if they turn the wheel just to the left just a touch bit more, or give it just a touch bit more throttle, it's gonna loop it. And Blair Holloman already out to almost a 3-second lead now with Teft. Alex Teft, though, in pursuit here, and I mean, he's on no man's land. I mean, there's fast, and then there's Blair Holloman fast.
If you're Dennis Kane, I think do everything you can to just stay on the bumper of Alex Teft and just try to either save fuel or create a better run on the straightaways, just to try to close that gap to the leader.
Yeah, and
It's
it's
too early.
I was like, it's easier said than done for guys like to chase down guys like Blair Holloman, but certainly, you know, we've seen him be beat, but it's few and far in between for him to have that happen. Back a little further, Randy Sprouse looking to overtake Jesse Fox, trying to get to that rear bumper, and that's one of those things is you want to be as tight as you can be as you go into the corner, and you know, kind of guess where they're gonna go. And you know, sometimes it works out for you in one corner, and then the next corner you're riding in their tracks, and it doesn't work out as well. But you know, kind of watching how they run and getting to that point where you're comfortable knowing that, you know, they're going to go to the bottom, and just, you know, run a different line to make up time, or, you know, try to get to their inside some way, some shape, some form. And it's, again, easier said than done. You see him dive all the way to the bottom, kind of using Dunaway as a minor pick, as, you know, Jesse Fox doesn't really have anywhere to go. It looks like he got a little loose there. You see the time that he lost with just being a little loose off corner. I mean,
this is not the easiest track to overtake on, surprisingly enough.
No, not at all. And one of the crazy things is, if you ever go back and watch Kevin Harvick run this track, he lets off like just past the start-finish line back in the old car.
Yep.
Old car, old configuration. You know, he would come through. And I mean, we'll point it out here on the number 46 machine of Sprouse. And mind you, this is a truck, runs different than the Cup car. But I mean, he was letting off right about here to sail off into the corner and then get back into it to have a fire off the corner. And it's honestly insane to think of, you know, being off throttle that early going to a corner, because most places you would do that, you'd be run over.
Yep.
And I mean, like, people screaming, "What the heck are you doing?" kind of stuff. I mean, they'd say a lot more worse, but we'll try to keep it PG-ish here on air. As we'll pop back up front, our man Blair Holloman's out to just under a 2-second lead. So Alex Teft making a touch of ground. Hugh Escobar.
You're gonna have Hugh Escobar in the way for Alex Teft now.
Yeah. 3 things that you usually see in a grocery cart: some stuff from Home Depot, some Reese's, and some Tide Pods. It's certainly the sandwich that we got going on here. Is Teft has a little bit of a slide, and you know, it seems like some of the guys that are able to pull off that slide, it almost helps them a little bit. It's not quite hindering them as badly as you would think, as long as they can get it straightened out quickly. It's almost like you know, how I remember go-karts is you get a little bit of a slide in the go-kart with, you know, how the weight would shift so that you can get around the corner and fire off and set yourself up for the next corner. I did a little bit of that for a little bit.
Oh,
and you
Dennis Kane drags the wall.
Stuck in the wall, and that's one of those worst feelings. Is once you're in the wall and just kind of stuck there, and you got to just kind of wait it out and hope that you come off the wall. This is a very random thing that came to mind. You know, we were talking about Reese Cups and Home Depot and all that. Why has there never been a peanut butter and jelly Reese Cup?
Has there never been?
I don't recall it ever being a thing, but why? I feel like that would be like a fire thing.
I wonder if it has something to do with so jelly being canned or jarred.
Maybe, but I mean
that it needs to be sealed a certain way.
Yeah, but you usually find jelly you know, on the shelves, not in like a fridge or anything like that in the stores.
Right, because it's preserved the way it is. Have you ever had the crustables or whatever?
Yeah, the Uncrustables.
Uncrustables?
Yeah,
I think those are in the refrigerated
they
section, are
are.
they not?
They are. You're right.
I think it has something to do with refrigeration, but why not refrigerate the Reese's
Yeah,
with peanut butter and jelly?
I mean, I'm seeing here. Don't mind me. Just a little bit of fat boy thoughts going on here. I googled it. Came across someone that makes peanut butter and jellied peanut butter and jelly cups. So the cup itself is the peanut butter, and then the jelly is inside the cup.
Brilliant.
Man,
Oh wow, Alex Teff truly has closed that gap a lot to Blair Holloman.
a ton. And it looks like Justin Branham was almost under fire by Rowan Lloyd and Kane. There is now the 60 of Lee Campbell finding his way in. The 56, or the 56. Why is he not on my? Oh, that's because he's going a lap down. That's why my timing and scoring was all out of whack. But 56 almost took out the rear quarter of the 60 machine there. And
I think Blair Holloman's struggling for tires right now because Hugh Escobar was sitting between Blair Holloman and Alex Teft, and he's run off into the distance.
you can see Alex Teft closing in on Holloman again, just about 0.3 of a second off of his lead there. You see some guys coming down. Jonathan Leach, our main man here at SRM, is coming down pit road now. You see Teft trying to find he's kind of running a little bit of a faster line down there on the bottom, but it's one of those things is, did Blair get out that far and burn his stuff up, or did he get out that far and now he's just saving so that he doesn't lose as many spots? It's hard to believe that Blair Holloman would go out and burn up stuff on the track.
It's hard to say. It's hard to read the minds of the driver.
I have trouble reading my own mind, so I'm certainly not going to be able to read anybody else's mind.
I think Andrew Teft is not doing too bad recovering from his incident.
Certainly not. Sitting in 9th place right now. And, it's one of those things where he's just got to keep that mindset of not pushing too hard and just, run his race.
I'm hearing radio chatter about pit stops, so I just think it's a matter of time before we see Blair Holloman dive down there.
Dennis Kane to the inside of Lee Campbell. Well, Lee Campbell to the outside of Dennis Kane, I should say. Looks like Kane might be slowing down to take that pit stop, and it looks like the 86 of Hess comes with him. So, Holloman still holding off Teft, and that's one of those things I've seen is Holloman gets out as far as he does, and then they track him down super fast, but no one's been able to capitalize on that and get around him. It's that could just be by design.
Now, here's a little bit of a mental trap that you can get stuck in. When you're right behind the leader and you think you have a shot to overtake them, you might burn up too much fuel and burn up too much tires trying to get past the leader. And suddenly your next pit stop comes a little bit sooner than you expected.
Yeah, as we see Alex Teft get by Blair Holloman. We'll see now if either of these guys decide to come down pit road here in the future. Kirby Wainscott, Paul Shaw, Philip Archibald, Dwayne McMahon all coming down pit road now. Blair Holloman makes his dive down in the pit road now. So that's going to leave Alex Teft with a one and a quarter, 3/4 second lead over Rowan Lloyd. And you know, now's the difficult thing. You know, it's hard to know if Teft should come down now or if he should, you know, keep just pushing it and get as far out as he can and maybe short pit later.
Now that he's in fresh air, I'd be inclined to stay out there as long as I can, but nope, here he comes.
Yeah, he's going to come down pit road. Lee Campbell going to stay out another lap, take over the lead, and he's going to get a point for leading that lap. And, you know, certainly I don't want him to end up in a jam here by staying out too long, though.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, you got to throw those out there every now and again. Jesse Fox sits in second with Wesley Herndon sitting in third. Andrew Teft, Alex Teft, and Rowan Lloyd all down in pit road and headed on out now. Lee Campbell's making his stop. Jesse Fox would take over lead one lap, take his bonus point there. Rob Yost said him and Blair live 15 minutes from the Reese's plant in Hershey. And, you know, Rob Yost, why don't you go tell him that, you know, Jordan Brockel at SRM said that they need to make a PB&J Reese's cup.
Blair Holloman just got a huge lead over Alex Teft through the pit stop sequence.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that we've, you know, noticed is just a lap or two can certainly change how things go for these guys as far as their strategies. And
Blair Holloman finds himself 4 seconds ahead of Alex Teft now.
Yeah, and, you know, he's got Kyle Hess directly behind him now instead of Alex Teft. So a bunch of guys kind of jumping a little bit here over Alex Teft.
Ruth Hoke running in the 3 spot now.
Yeah, and again, you know, he came down pit road about 6 or 7 laps earlier than some of these guys and was able to get ahead of them. But now his stuff's going to wear out a lot sooner than, you know, the guys around him. So it's going to be seen as maybe might have to pull a short pit or, you know, maybe run a little longer just to get the full use out of what he's got.
Cross your fingers for a caution.
Exactly. As Dennis Kane getting passed by Justin Branham on the outside as Alex Teft looks to get to Dennis Kane now. Dennis Kane kind of swerves to the inside with, you know, opening the outside for Alex Teft. And, you know, they're kind of putting some time there to getting to Truth Hoke. It's down to a 1.2 second lead that he is, you know, it's down to a 1 second lead already now that Teft and Branham are working on. And it's dropping relatively quick. So certainly showing the difference in what those tires are doing. And I mean, Truth Hope could even be saving just a touch, you know, just because he is so far off a sequence.
He must be. But I'm sure he loves seeing the battle behind him. Whoa.
Yeah, Teft dives to the inside, gonna go by Truth Hope there. And Branham gonna follow in suit. So now Alex Teff takes over the third place spot, and he's going to look to track down the 86 machine of Kyle Hess, who's about 3.5 seconds ahead of him right now, and then even further
Oh
up.
dear. Hugh Escobar just snagging the wall coming out of 2.
Yeah, he gets back on the track safely. And it looks like he's going to go ahead and bring it down pit road. Possibly he does. As Blair Holloman still has a 2-second lead over Kyle Hess. And Alex Teft has brought it down to a 3.25 second lead over, or 3.25 second gap to Kyle Hess now.
Yeah, that gap is certainly shrinking.
Back a little further, Dennis Kane lost another spot here to Sean Dunaway and Trevor Woodward. Truth Hope falls down to 8th as Lee Campbell comes flying through to take over the 8th place spot of Truth Hope.
Lee Campbell is on a charge with Andrew Teft right behind him in tow. And Rowan Lloyd, what a great race for him. Up 14 spots right now.
Yeah, started at the tail end of this field and finds himself in the top 10 right now, and you know that's all you could really ask for.
One of the best feelings when you start at the back of the field is to just pluck away and make your way up to the front.
Yeah, and Lee Campbell taking over another spot of Trevor Woodward and fighting, actually like really fighting through this field right now and tracking down Sean Dunaway, and I mean he's blazing fast right now. I mean he's got it figured out at least for this run so far. Looking to the inside now. He is on about 2-lap fresher stuff, so I mean he is able to, you know, he does have a little bit of a fresher truck than some of these guys. 4 laps newer on Justin Branham, 4 laps newer on Kyle Hess, 1 lap on Teft, and 2 laps on Holloman. So he might be able to even run down Branham here and get up to that 4th place spot and maybe get to Teft and work with Teft to get to that spot, as Teft has brought it down to a 1.25 second lead, or Hess has fallen to a 1.25 second lead to Alex Teft.
I wonder if Lee Campbell is just burning things up on this stint, suspecting that they're going to have to make another stop no matter what.
Yeah, certainly. I don't see anyone going. I mean, they went from, I want to say around lap, was it 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, somewhere in there for a pit stop. So they went about 40 to 45 laps on a run. So if they go 45 from, you know, Kyle Hess goes 45, it's still 5 laps short, and you know it's going to be a stretch to make it that much further. So we might see some people come down. Oh, big slide by Teft. So he's right on the back end of Kyle Hess now. He's going to lose a lot of that time for a while and have to work to track him back down. Campbell has caught Justin Branham and looks to the inside of him now. And what I was about to say is you might see some of these guys possibly pull a short pit and, you know, kind of get their service and, you know, get back out there as Dennis Kane comes down pit road now as I say that. So a little bit of a short pit. Only ran about 20 laps or so. You short pit, you get a full, you know, 4 new tires and a full tank of fuel, get you to the end. You know, certainly if you're Blair Holloman, you're not doing that. You're going to come down around lap, say 80, 85, run 20 laps to the finish and be good. Trevor Woodward finds himself coming down now too.
I have the sneaking suspicion that Lee Campbell is burning things up on this stint, and we'll see him making a pit stop.
Yeah, and
try to have
my biggest thought is if he can get to this top 3 group, burn his stuff up enough to get to that top 3 group, pit, and then these guys go long.
Of course. The undercut will be very strong.
The undercut would be very strong. So, I mean, it's as it stands, I mean, I feel like Campbell has a great strategy going right now. But if any of these guys move on that strategy, like move to that pit road before Campbell decides to make his stop, I think that throws off his strategy.
It certainly would.
There goes Branham. Branham's going to go in the pit road now. Up front, Holloman still with a 3 over 3 second lead over. Oh, big slide by Kyle Hess there in the background. See if Blair comes down this time. Does not look like it. He's going to keep on trucking. Pop back here to Teft and Hess. They're going to keep on trucking. Campbell's still going to go by too. So nobody making a budge here. I feel like some people think the same way that, you know, we do, and they want that even number. So I feel like some of these guys might call it at lap 80, because like coming down at lap 78 just sounds weird. If I can get to lap 80, I'll just come down lap 80. It's quick, easy math. I don't have to be like, well, if I come down now, it's 21 laps, 23 laps. You know, if I come down at lap 80, it's 25 laps.
I try to listen to the tires. If I'm on a stint or I'm trying to just chase everybody down and the tires start to go, that's my signal that it's time.
Yeah, and I mean that might be why I suck at racing, but
by always counting the laps rather than going for the feel of the car.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm just like, nah, I can get it to there. But, you know, Campbell, he's going to find himself right there, almost to that second place spot. And if I'm Campbell, if you know, I would come down now. The next time I would come down. You can almost kind of sit right there in front of Teft and everything. They'll cycle out behind you if you get a good stop. Teft looking to fight to the inside there, but not going to be able to get there. And, you know, Campbell going to fight outside still. So he's not going to come down this time for sure. Blair Holloman comes down pit road now. Teft coming down now too. Campbell going to stay out. Oh, it looks like Hess made a one of those quick calls. So if I'm Lee Campbell, I read Andrew Teft and Campbell at the same time.
If you're Lee Campbell, you come down this lap.
Yeah, if you're Lee Campbell, I'd be in pit road right now. I would not waste any time on staying out. You're just going to lose time to the guys behind you, and you know, and he's got a kind of a block there with the 56. The 56 slides.
Oh no!
Does the 56 get it going?
Nathan Strauss.
He's off track,
big
so
moment.
he's going to stay under green because he's off track. Andrew Teft's still out on track now. We'll see where Holloman is. Holloman's going to enter track now. Campbell's still are in his pit box. And the real person we're looking for is Alex Teft and Hess. So they're coming into turns 3 and 4
Turns
now.
3 and 4.
Campbell's still on pit road. He is going.
Oh, that'll be close.
Yeah, it looks like they're.
He won't be up to speed, but he won't be
him.
in bad shape on tires.
Yeah, so they go by Lee Campbell here. So it's not, you know, didn't necessarily work to perfection for him. But
1 lap fresher tires.
Justin Branham, he's only a second off of Blair Holloman right now. I mean, he just ran his fastest lap of the race last time by, so he's certainly on something. Alex Teff just ran his fastest lap of the race as well. So Rowan Lloyd just ran his fastest lap. So these guys are really starting to put down times and pushing these trucks to their limit here with just over 22 laps to go, or 27 laps to go.
Seeing 21 laps left, based on my math.
See, this is why I told you I can't do math. My math is absolutely terrible, and I don't know how I graduated. But the thing is math was my smartest subject, which is saying a lot because, I mean, my grammar is why I'm not a police officer. And I wish I was kidding.
Hey man, we all have our strengths and our weaknesses.
Blair Holloman out to a 2.5 lead already now. And Lee Campbell, he cycles back to
7th spot. Dennis Kane finding himself in a great position.
Yeah, certainly finding himself somewhere good.
Maybe Dennis Kane was on the magic pit strategy. Rowan Lloyd up 17 spots. That's
Yeah, and then
that's
Kyle
something to be
Hess
proud
as well.
of.
Kyle Hess is also up 17 spots. So big movers up front.
Certainly is.
Showing a lot of power here. And, you know, Teft had a big struggle towards the end of the last season. And
Yeah, Lee Campbell's pit strategy did not work out quite the way he'd hoped.
Teft not quite making a ton of time on Hess. Actually lost a little bit here. But Blair out to a almost 3.5 second lead over Justin Branham. And now Kyle Hess has tracked down Justin Branham and looking to take over that second place spot.
If I recall correctly, Justin Branham probably is gonna have to make one more stop. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
No, I mean, he came down 76, so I think he can
76?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he should be able to make it. I mean, that's
He'll be in
just,
good shape.
yeah, that's just under 30 laps, so he should be fine. Kyle Hess fighting that inside, trying to get by Branham. Can't clear him still. Wrong camera button. Let's see if you can see him outside the back there. Go to the blimp here. See, he's gonna possibly clear him on exit now. Looked like Branham went for a crossover there for a moment. It just did not work.
Alex Teft will love watching that battle because anytime two drivers fighting with each other, it slows them both down.
Yeah, Teft to the inside of Branham now. So Teft, Alex Teft that is, having a strong showing here to start off Season 5 as we've got 14 to go. Holloman showing his strength still to this day by putting almost a 4.25 second lead over Kyle Hess. Kyle Hess up 18 positions from where he started. Started 20th position up to second now. And honestly, with how fast Blair Holloman is, I would be happy with this second place or third place finish. I mean, you could switch Hess and Teft. I'd be happy. You could keep it this way. If I'm one of those two guys, I'm happy. Because in my mind, finishing second to Blair Holloman is like winning your own race. Because Blair Holloman puts himself on such an island that, you know, it's a win in itself to be able to be that far or be second place to him. As Andrew Teff looks to the inside of Dunaway, he's going to clear Dunaway and set his sights on Justin Branham about a second, almost 2 seconds ahead, with just 12 laps to go.
Things are really stretched out right now.
Yeah, Lee Campbell looking to get to that Gatorade machine of Sean Dunaway. Gonna get right to the back bumper. Cuts off his run. Shut him down. I feel like John Taffer would say shut it down to the peanut butter and jelly Reese's cups. Side by side down the backstretch, Sean Dunaway is going to fight Lee Campbell here. See, I feel like if I was Campbell, I'd be running a Campbell's chicken noodle or Campbell's chunky soup.
Ooh,
I would be so cheesy and run that because, like, it's Campbell's soup. He's Campbell. I'd be all over that. I'd have a different
now the real
Campbell.
question is what flavor?
See, but that's the thing is I would have like 12 different Campbell's soup trucks. I would have I would have enough paint schemes to run a different truck each and every week. Because I mean, you could throw in the cream of mushrooms, cream of mushroom soup and celery, cream of celery, and like the things that aren't really soups. They're just like the additors to different broths and stuff. And then you have the different types of chunky. Right now,
Andrew Teft just got through Justin Branham.
Yeah, and Lee Campbell.
Sorry to interrupt the soup talk.
You're good. Racing's more important here as Lee Campbell looks to the inside of the 81 machine here. Gonna try to make that pass. And to finish up that conversation there, I think right now, being a Philly fan, I would have that Campbell's chicken or Campbell's spicy whatever that new soup is that had a commercial with Jason Kelsey. I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but he's in he's in like an Eagles robe and talking about spicy Campbell's soup, and I would have him on the back deck lid of the truck or on the hood, just Jason Kelsey sideways on the hood.
the one that sticks in my mind is McNabb and his mom.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a throwback.
The jokes that came from that too, because of him getting sick on the sideline during the Super Bowl.
Oh, jeez.
But Kyle Hess still ahead of Alex Teft by 1 second as Andrew Teft is looking to run down his brother now as Lee Campbell gets squarely off the corner. And we've seen these guys all over the track with a handful each and every time they go around, and it's certainly not fun. I think right about now everything's kind of leveling off. You know, I don't think Andrew Teft has enough to catch Alex Teft. He's got a almost 4 second gap to Alex Teft.
That's a tall order.
And he's got to fight Lee Campbell here at the end too. So there's a lot going on in just that little bit of time.
If he can take out a half second a lap, he can get him. But passing him is another thing.
Now, do you move your brother for a podium spot?
No.
See, I feel like it depends. If it were like the last race of the season, you both are just
that's a
racing for
different
fun.
story.
you know, you're just racing. You don't have anything at stake, or you have the championship at stake. You know who? I can't remember who said it. I'd wreck my grandmother for a championship.
Now I wonder if Lee Campbell has something to fight back with in the closing stages.
You know, trying to bounce back and forth between Dunaway. Dunaway gets by.
There are two good
Justin
battles
Branham.
going on.
Yeah, Dunaway gets past Branham for a second there. As now Campbell's to the inside of Andrew Teft. And, you know, Alex has got to be seeing that and being a little excited because, you know, he's only got to hang on for about 3 1/4 laps here. Branham's fighting the same battle that Teft is, just a little bit tighter right now. Oh, as they are side by side down through turn 4. I think it's going to go to Justin here. No, he's not going to have the runoff. Just barely a runoff.
That is a great drag race.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like you got to keep bouncing back and forth. Dunaway and Branham is really good. And then you got Campbell looking to the inside and not able to stay there. But Dunaway gets by Branham. But does Branham cross him over here to go into the turn? All over the back of him. I think Branham's going to see the writing on the wall that he does not have the speed to hang with Dunaway. Teft has kind of pulled away from Campbell a little bit.
Out front, Holman's still 3.5 seconds away, so it's not much to worry about for Holloman other than lap traffic.
Yeah, Holloman out to a 3.5-second lead over Kyle Hess and about a 5-second lead over Alex Teft. And
now will Rowan Lloyd have a shot at Branham?
Certainly going to try to get there on this white flag lap. White flag's in the air for Blair Holloman. He's going to come out of turn 2 here. He's going to be fighting to get down that back stretch nice and clean, and he can just basically coast to victory here through 3 and 4.
If he runs out of fuel now, he's probably still safe.
Blair Holloman going to come out of turn 4, down the dog leg. He's going to win back-to-back weeks, Season 4 finale and Season 5 opener. As Kyle Hess comes second and Alex Teft just getting that third podium spot ahead of his brother Andrew.
No. Rude.
A little bit of a brotherly shove there.
Yeah. To be expected.
Exactly. I mean, when it's brothers like that, you know, we see them. You know, you're still fighting with them. It's still, you know, a little bit of fun here. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if we can get our man of the hour up here in the booth. Blair Holloman, it's the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys. How you doing?
Hey, man, I feel like we just talked last week.
Yeah, it hasn't been very long, has it?
No, certainly not. I mean, you win the season finale and you know, win the championship, then you come out here to the season opener, and I mean, put a hurting on these guys, winning by 3.5 seconds, and you know, picking up where you left off at the end of last season.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks where if you can qualify up front, and as long as you don't get caught battling with somebody, you should have a good chance to at least stay up toward the front. Luck of the draw was having a good qualifying lap and being able to start on the outside there on the initial start. It was just try to hammer down on the outside of 1 and 2 and see what would happen.
Yeah, and you know, that was one of the things we were shocked at. I mean, we were like, okay, like this is going to be a Blair Holloman, Andrew Teft front row again, and Hope came out of nowhere instead of blazing lap, and we were so out of whack that we ended up pulling up Kirby for it, and I mean, we were so out of whack. But no, you find yourself same amount of speed that you were having, fast as ever, and you know, that's got to give you a good boost of confidence to have back-to-back races and, you know, finishing off with the championship to go make this a possible back-to-back run for a championship.
It's a confidence builder. Looking at this schedule this season, it's quite a bit different than last one's. Last one was tracks familiar with, or I've had some success in the officials. This season, there's a couple extra variables thrown in there that I think I might actually be a little behind the eight ball when we get there. But pretty much it's just show up once the lobby opens, learn as much as I can as long as practice goes along, and hopefully get a good enough qualifying lap down and don't have to start from the back.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the last few weeks that I've been able to be on this show or this league proves to anything is you'll figure it out at some point through the race and put a hurting or at least pull off that podium finish. Feel like we talk to you every single week here and getting to know each other very well.
It's definitely how quick can you learn on the fly in these trucks, because with being fixed, you really don't get a chance to adjust on it. So whatever the truck's bringing to the table is what you got to try to work with. And thankfully, I've been on the right side of the table. I know there's times coming that I'm not going to be on the right side of the table. It's just how can you figure out how to adjust what you're doing to get the truck to do the best that it can, and hopefully be up toward the front. But if you're in the back, just got to keep the hammer down and keep on trucking.
Absolutely, and keep on trucking is what you've been doing. Is there anybody that you need to shout out and thank for this performance tonight?
Yeah, I got a couple people. Yos, the team captain, he had to pull off early. He's been battling the flu for the last couple days. I'm actually surprised that he actually got on the iRacing at all today, but definitely put in a good effort there for as long as he could run. Of course, I want to thank my dad. I know he's watching, whether he's at home or still cruising home from work. The truck, although it's the Tide paint scheme, yeah, we decided to do a little Ricky Craven throwback, but usually we have the Matco tools on the side. That's my tool guy, Roy Salisbury. ACR Auto Core Recycling with my buddy Brian Lefevre. And on the deck lid of this truck, we got a Holloman Napa Auto Parts. That's my cousin Tad's family business. And those are the guys that like to see what I'm up to each week, and I like to try to do my best to at least make them proud.
Yeah, well, certainly they got to be proud with the performances you've been putting in here. You know, 7 wins in the last, I don't know, 16 races across the entire series, and I don't think you ran all 15 last season. So, crap ton of wins and showing your dominance in this series. So, congrats again on the win, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again shortly.
Thank you, guys. I'll catch you next time.
All right, that was your race winner, Blair Holloman. And now we're going to go ahead and pull up our second place guy of Kyle Hess. Kyle Hess, the boys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, you find yourself up 18 positions from where you started. Started 20th on the field, and you find yourself up 18 to the second place spot. I mean, that's got to feel amazing.
It does. I had some pitch strategy that actually worked this time, and it put me in some really good track position. So I will take that any day of the week.
And I was saying, you know, with how fast Blair Holloman can be, finishing second to him is almost like winning the race in general, just because of how far he puts himself on an island. So I mean, coming across that checkered flag, I mean, it's certainly got to feel like a win.
Oh yeah, it really does, especially from not qualifying and starting in 20th, then just easing my way through the field and getting up there. Like I couldn't be happier with the way that the race played out. Like we had a few new guys in here, and like tonight, since brand new season, and they all pretty much race with respect and pretty clean. So I appreciate them for that too. So, and the track was like really, really slick. So I'm surprised we only had one caution, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's what we were hearing is how slick it was tonight. And
Man,
I mean,
if you
we saw guys fighting it off of turn 2 a lot.
right, man, it's like if you wanted to trip oil, you would put Atlanta on it because man, it was slick. It was almost like ice, especially coming out of the corners. It just the rear end would break loose on you and you just lose traction. So
And I've had this question that I've been saving for whenever we got on an interview with you. So why haven't we seen a Hess truck paint scheme yet?
that's a good question. I've never really thought about it. What's funny that you bring that up is because my dad, he has a lot of those Hess trucks, especially from when I was a kid. And right now I'm 38.
Mm-hmm.
So he still has those Hess trucks laying around and he gets new ones almost about every year. So to be honest, I haven't really thought about that, but now that you've given me an idea,
I need to see a Hess truck paint scheme, and I'm looking for it. I'm going to look for it every week now. So
right.
you got to
I'll
get
see
on the
what
ball for that.
I'll see what I can do and either get one made or find one, something like that.
All
And,
right, brother. Well, before we get you out of here, is there anybody you want to shout out to and thank?
I'd like to thank my team, the Outsiders. They brought me in last season, and when I first came in, I didn't really want to be on the team, but got it with the Outsiders, and I've been having fun since. So I appreciate them, everyone on them. They're really cool, laid-back guys. Have a good time racing. I'd like to thank Andrew and everyone that does whatever they do to help this league run. I highly appreciate that. And man, y'all for putting on the broadcast and the people who have watched tonight. So we really do appreciate all that.
Yeah, and certainly we do really appreciate everyone that tunes in and everyone that contributes to the broadcast and the races. And certainly congratulations on the second place there, Kyle. And maybe we'll be talking to you a bit more this season.
Hopefully so. But it's going to be hard to beat Blair. He's really, really fast. So if I get one over on Blair, I'm definitely going to have to pray a little harder at that night. So
certainly. Well, congratulations, and we'll catch you on the next one possibly.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good night.
All right, and last and certainly not least, we're gonna bring up Alex Teft. Alex Teft, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man. So you see in the relative, I know you saw Andrew coming after you and trying to get to you, but I asked him this question once last season, I should say. Does it feel good to just finish right in front of him?
Oh, of course, but yeah, it feels that way to finish in front of anybody. But always a little extra special when it's him, though.
Yeah, certainly. And so we noticed a lot tonight. As people got closer and closer in proximity to somebody that had the same tires or were on the same strategy, it was almost like it was really difficult to get by, especially with how slick it was. It was almost like there was kind of like that bubble, because you caught Blair Holloman pretty fast there towards the end of I think both runs, but one for sure. And once you got there, it was just like you could not make it work on the bottom to get by him.
Yeah, at that point, I wasn't really trying to pass him. I was just kind of trying to stick with him and playing chicken with the fuel strategy, whether I wanted to pit before him, but there was one spot where I ended up finally getting by him. He kind of just pulled behind me and pit a lap before me, and that's what really kind of separated us for the rest of that race, because he came out in clearer track than I did, and yeah, I just couldn't make up that difference.
Yeah, but I mean, you certainly put on a good run there, up 6 spots from where you started, and kicking off this season. I know you had a little bit of struggles towards mid to end of last season, but still putting on good performances. But it's got to feel good to start off the next season here with a podium.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, definitely struggled ever since they did that major truck update. I really took me a bit to get the feel of it, and I seemed over the past few weeks been kind of getting a feel for it again. I really wasn't expecting to run too great today, but it worked out, obviously.
Yes, certainly, and it was great to watch you guys battle it out. I mean, there's a lot of changing positions and everything like that, and for a slick racetrack, only having one caution, I mean, that's amazing. So congrats on the third, and before we get you on out of here, is there anybody you want to shout out and thank for tonight's performance?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys over at SRM Racing Media for putting on these broadcasts all the time. Thank the League Racers Elite. Was a good opener of this new season. Thank my friends and fans that watch all the time, and my fiance.
All right, brother. Well, hopefully we'll be catching you on a couple more of these here, and maybe see you in Victory Lane some point this year.
That'd be great.
All right, brother. Congrats on the third, and we'll be catching you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, Colin. Well, that just about does it here for us at Sim Racing Media. Going to go ahead and bring up our final results here as Blair Holloman picks up the victory, picking up where he left off at the end of season 4, winning here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Kyle Hess up 18 positions for a second place finish. Alex Teft pulling off that final podium spot, just ahead of his brother Andrew Teft, with Lee Campbell rounding out our top 5. Sean Dunaway and Justin Branham going to come 6th and 7th. Rowan Lloyd and Dennis Kane going to come 8th and 9th. Truth Hoax going to pull off that 10th after a little bit of trouble there. Philip Archibald going to come 11th. Randy Sprouse going to come 12th. Dwayne McMahon going to come 13th. Kirby Wayne Scott 14th. Troy Thomas 15th. Paul Shaw, Jesse Fox 16th and 17th. Sean Merriman in 18th. Trevor Woodward going to come 19th. Nathan Strauss 20th. Wesley Herndon going to come 21st. Hugh Escobar, Jonathan Leach 22nd and 23rd. And rounding out the field due to the flu is Rob Yost. And again, Rob, I hope you're feeling better and come out here and whoop on some people next week. But with all of that being said, as you walk the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.